Right, so you managed to get cuts across your face, sever your spleen, and gash your leg. Just explain to me what happened again. So I got excited about Argentina scoring, and then I ran through a window. Right, yeah, I see. Okay, don't show him the rest of the result, because obviously they scored again. Wait, what'd you say, Doc? Nah, nothing at all. Oh my god, we scored again. Hey, yo, I need to go celebrate. Someone get the bandages. Yo guys, it is your boy Niran here, and you are watching FTW. This, of course, the series where I bring to you the best and more frequently the worst of what the world of football has to offer during the last 7 days. But what's been kicking off in the world this week? Well, there was snowfall across the United Kingdom with extremely low temperatures, and the country's completely fallen apart.
Oh, for God's
There was more snow here than the average road to Shore House party, and people were struggling to navigate the icy streets. These lot were going down more than Portugal at literally any point during a World Cup. But how would it affect the world of English football if it were to continue? Well, Antonio Conte's training seems a little bit harsh. Jack Grealish would not be able to stay focused with all this going on around him. But one thing is for sure, Kieran Tierney's still in short sleeves. He doesn't care about a little bit of snow.
Oh no, I'm so scared, you fanny face.
Onto the football though now, and after a month of non-stop footy, we now know our final for the World Cup. And the first of the finalists are France, who beat Morocco 2-0 in their semi-final, crushing Morocco's dream of being the first African side to ever reach a World Cup final. Dear Lord, what a sad little life, France. You've ruined it for everyone. The goals here came from Theo Hernandez and substitute Kolo Muani, but don't let this determine how you thought of the game, because Morocco gave such a good account of themselves, and it's crazy they didn't end up scoring. A bicycle kick hitting the post, a scramble, and then a shot cleared off the line right towards the end. Ashraf Hakimi will not be pleased with Kylian Mbappe at PSG training.
Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done.
Morocco did have a clear tactic whenever Kylian Mbappe received the ball, and it was epitomised by a Sofiane Amrabat tackle that was brilliant but outrageous at the same time. Honestly, Amrabat is a sensational footballer. His heat map for the night was spectacular. If he was the hard work, then Sofiane Boufal was the flair. You knew exactly what you were getting from him when he received the ball. Parisians are gonna be jubilant knowing there's no traffic because of Moroccans celebrating in the city, until they realise that there's gonna be French people celebrating in the city instead. And as much as it is depressing knowing that Morocco and African side aren't going to be in the final, at least France are truly representing Africa as well. But no, honestly, what a story and what a journey from Morocco. To get this far is absolutely ridiculous. And they've done so by beating some of the biggest nations at the tournament. Not only that, but of course by being defensively solid, but also by being daring and being adventurous. Honestly, in this game, they were the better side for serious portions, and they can be extremely proud of what they've achieved. In the other semi, and Argentina put their place in the final with a comfortable 3-0 win over Croatia in a result and performance inspired by Lionel Messi. Goals here came from Leo from the penalty spot and a Julian Alvarez brace, and Leo was in inspired form. Who am I kidding? This man can't speak to women at all. Do you want to go somewhere alone? To be honest, I'm enjoying the company. I mean, do something fun, babe. What, like play Monopoly or something? Or no, something that needs us to go somewhere private. Do we even have a permit to do that? Or he's the GOAT because he's so focused on his football. He doesn't have time for female distraction. This man's never touched a woman. His kids are adopted. Before the game, though, when Argentinian spirits were high, one fan flew a massive Messi shirt from the back of a plane. Some Argentina supporters even managed to bring out a tank in the streets. I feel like that could cause some serious problems.
He's round the goalkeeper.
Meanwhile, in Croatia, and one presenter decided to interview people in a retirement home who didn't want this one to go to penalties for extra stress. Luka Modric is going to be in there next season. Meanwhile, Andre Kramaric was trying to convince himself that Croatia could beat Argentina.
Messi's alright. He does a few steps. He's basic goal. I'm better than Messi.
With how these two have been during this tournament, I was half expecting them to just wait it out for penalties. But Argentina took the lead in the first half, and their fans were delighted. Alvarez then doubled the lead soon after. More magic from Leo provided a third for Argentina in the second 45, and they were through to the final. I'm convinced Croatia's defenders were distracted by the model in the crowd. Hey, yo, she's kind of nice still. And Miss Croatia is alas going home. I felt for the goalkeeper, honestly. Livakovic was the one to get out of there when he saw Messi, Alvarez, McAllister, and Dybala running through on goal.
The game's over, wallahi, the game was over, man. Let's be real, man. I see, wallahi, 4 niggas entered that door. 4.
And Leo now has a chance for a World Cup before retirement. Wayne Rooney had his say on Twitter about him being the GOAT. Interesting that he didn't pick his ex-teammate Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, it's a shithousery award for Wayne. Rooney was not too impressed watching the Croatian back line.
These are crap.
There was joy back in Argentina though, and fans were all over the streets. Someone even managed to create an Argentinian Iron Man suit, which again, I don't think falls within the laws of football. Not again! But how did everyone get to the semis? Let's rewind for a second. Now for Argentina, and they won a hot-headed, highly contested quarterfinal versus the Netherlands on penalties. Both squads were on smoke from the outset.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
Leandro Paredes brought down Nathan Ake, then pummeled the ball into the Dutch dugout, at which Virgil van Dijk entered the fray. Mate, the last thing Paredes saw was Virgil van Dijk's aura. It was getting out of hand during the penalty shootout as well. Argentina won, then rubbed it in the Dutch players' faces. Not very classy on the face of it, but the Netherlands were moving mad during Argentina's penalties too. There were a total of 17 yellow cards in this one, by the way. 17! You don't need to sort out Christmas cards, mate. This guy's got you covered. How do you give a yellow card during a penalty shootout, for fuck's sake? You should have gone to the right, mate. Have that. Emi Martinez had his say on the official at full time.
He just wanted them to score. That's basically it. So hopefully we don't have that ref anymore. He's useless.
And FIFA seemed to agree with him, sending him home from the tournament. Do you know how bad you have to be to get substituted as a ref at full time? And Leo wasn't liking how Weghorst was looking at him. Here's his reaction at the ex-Burnley man coming off the bench.
Weghorst? I've never heard. That's not even a real name.
But Wout was the reason why this went to penalties in the first place. Argentina were 2-0 up, then a header from him and a clever free kick saw the Dutch take it the distance.
Oh, the bad touch. Oh my God! What a goal that is! Oh my God!
What a free kick!
What a fucking goal!
Unbelievable! Clever free kick, man.
Oh my God! Wow!
Sorry, man, I'm sorry.
Louis van Gaal put on all the big dons against Lisandro Martinez. Mate, I've made this video before. The Dutch manager was 10 minutes away from bringing on Marouane Fellaini. Argentina were resorting to old tactics. And with pens looming, Tim Krul was stepping off the plane. But Argentina would win though after a heroic performance from Emi Martinez again in what was an absolute classic of a World Cup match. For France though, and
I feel physically sick, literally sick. I could be sick.
now I spoke about this in more detail in this video here, but the England World Cup dream was officially over after the Three Lions lost to the reigning champions France. Aurélien Tchouameni and Olivier Giroud scored the goals for the French. Harry Kane grabbed a penalty, then had the chance to score again from the spot. It's Kane!
Have it.
More penalty pain is a heartbreaking way to go out. It was a shame as well after performing so well and playing so well in this game. I love this squad, honestly. You've got Bukayo Saka conducting a spelling bee at camp.
E-E-S-T-E-T-H-I-C.
Wrong. Stop smiling like that, bro. You're wrong.
E-N-T-R-E-N. No, wait there.
Jack Grealish was flummoxed every time there was a word above 4 letters long.
I don't know what that means.
Harry Kane won't be pleased hearing Saka ask him to spell penalty on the way to the airport. Speaking of airports, and Ryanair weren't holding back with this tweet, Maguire's got no leg room and he has to see this tweet. He was already annoyed enough as it was with the referee's performance.
Very poor. From minute 1, 5-6 fouls in the first 15 minutes, not one yellow card. For me, it's a foul for the first goal leading up to Bukayo. I can't really go into explain how bad his performance really was.
And I can't even lie, this referee was shocking. Bukayo Saka was getting fouled every 26 seconds and it wasn't given. Even the French first goal comes from a Bukayo Saka foul. Antoine Griezmann could have pulled out a shank, stabbed 4 players, and I would have known what the ref's reaction would be. Yet player advantage. Yet now, could you spell that one for me? The real reason we lost though? Priti Patel.
I could be sick.
That and an unnamed newspaper putting up an ad board in Paris saying that it was coming home. Or maybe we lost because Tchouameni only looked up and saw this when about to take a shot. Either way, we are out. Not that Tottenham's email system knew that fact. Wolves fans are going to be devastated saying goodbye to the World Cup and now having to return to bottom of the league Premier League action. Let's talk a Southgate out and Steven Gerrard in. Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to be buzzing because even Roy Keane had more game time than him at this tournament. In the other quarterfinals, and Morocco shocked the world with a 1-0 win over Portugal to knock out the 2016 Euros winners and of course Cristiano Ronaldo. It was a truly sad scene.
Portugal airport is that way.
Piers Morgan stormed out of his living room seeing Ron out already and he's already preparing that third interview. Realistically, do we even need Africa? This was an historic moment for not only Morocco but for all of Africa. They're the first African side to ever reach a semi-final of the World Cup, going where no nation from the continent has ever gone and by beating Belgium, Spain and Portugal. Shakira was excited seeing the result. Hummus investors everywhere are loving life right now.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for. This is exactly, I don't mean to sound like Cat Williams, but this is exactly...
The goal scorer and hero of the hour was Youssef En-Nesyri with a massive leap for a header that had even Cristiano Ronaldo in awe from the bench. Late on in the game, Pepe had the chance to equalise but missed from close range, and Moroccan defender El Yamik thanked him for it. Kissing him on his bald head is a shithousery award. Sofiane Amrabat after the game told of the fact that he had to have injections just to get through the match. Injections? You mean steroids? Next you're gonna tell me they've all got asthma.
So happy for the team, for the result, and congratulations to all.
Portugal, though, were not happy with the referees, and they were all Argentinian too, to be fair. You got Giovanni Lo Celso officiating this one. Portugal were ready to chase down the referee when he disallowed a late Bruno Fernandes goal. And Cristiano Ronaldo was on the bench again for this one. Lionel Messi had a message for Ronaldo whilst he was sat on the bench. Just whatever you do, don't type his replacement Gonzalo Ramos' name in on Twitter, for God's sake. Was that a World Cup swan song, though, for Cristiano Ronaldo? His sister doesn't think so, saying that 41 is a great age to be a footballer over on Instagram. 41, coincidentally, is the age that he will be by the next World Cup in 2026. Here he is finding out how long it is till the next World Cup and the fact that his legs won't make it.
This could be 4.
Oh no! Oh no! You're having a laugh! It's 4!
They do realise the next one's in the USA. He ain't making it there. Either way, he's going to be cryogenically freezing himself till 2178. Imagine him and Vincent Aboubakar running in behind by 2026 at Al Nassr. Meanwhile, there was yet another shock in this World Cup as Brazil crashed out at the hands of Croatia. This was a side with arguably the best squad and depth going out of the quarterfinals on penalties with Dominik Livakovic the hero. Croatia had dumped Brazil out of the World Cup. And they left Neymar to take the final penalty. A pen that he wouldn't even get to take after Marquinhos hit the post. He was escorted out of the place for trying to convince the ref to do double or nothing. He finished with his sister more than he finished in a penalty shootout this tournament. Brazil's silver hair was just too distracting, illuminating everything. Is this part of the job requirements or something? Bobby? You're in. Casemiro wasn't happy with Luka Modric after the Croatians sent him out of the tournament.
Fucking
Hey, yo, don't let him do that.
I've been there for you since day one.
United will be concerned seeing Anthony's new market value. And Fred wasn't too amused being left behind by the team bus in Qatar.
Did you not see me outside the bus now? Did you not see me right in front of you outside the fucking bus? I showed you my hand.
You know what, the more I think about this isn't a shock at all. Brazil took Dani Alves to the tournament. This guy is so old that his immune system is weak. There was a lot of class though from Croatia upon winning the shootout. Ivan Perisic's son was even there to console Neymar at full time. Their attitude for the entire World Cup has been different gravy.
I come here for a fucking shootout, right?
Luka Modric is 58 though. He can't continue to put up with this extra time stress 24/7. Now for real though, Modric will ooze class at any age. He had Richarlison and the rest of the Brazilian birds worked out. Now on the topic of Brazil, and Kaká made some interesting statements this week, suggesting that despite being a footballing legend, if R9 was to walk down a Brazilian street, not many people in the country would care, that he'd just be another fat man on the roads. There's actually no need for the fat part. What's going on? Also crazy to think that Brazilians wouldn't rate him. I think he'd be expecting a hero's welcome, only to be very disappointed. Kaka called this guy Ecuadorian. My man said that he's Lucas Moura. Elsewhere at the World Cup, and there's the news that for maybe the first time ever, there's been no arrests amongst English fans. If true, it's time to celebrate, lads. Probably down to the fact that it's Qatar. I can only imagine England's fans' reactions hearing that it's 26 years in jail for a fight.
I don't want problems. I want peace. Always.
Portugal are on a search for a new boss after crashing out to Morocco and are apparently targeting Jose Mourinho.
Energy. Mourinho.
Here we have him seeing Gonzalo Ramos smashing one out, then realising it's his sausage and not a goal. This ain't FIFA career mode, mate. He can't do club and country. At his old club, and Jadon Sancho is apparently training away from Manchester United until he's physically and mentally ready for first team action. This guy's doing up a Tongi Ndombele, training at Hyde Park. And here we see Tom Huddleston asking him how he's bringing a Lamborghini to the under-18s car park.
Where'd you get your money from?
In fairness, though, I have heard some rumours, they're not really confirmed, about what Jadon has been going through over the last few months. And obviously, without that confirmation, it's not nice to speak on things like that. But I do hope that generally he's doing well and that he can find his way back at Manchester United and, of course, for England as well soon. The popular football streaming site His Goal has been taken off the air for copyright infringement by the US government. I've personally never used it. Ha, illegal streaming. Nah. What are local MILFs in my area gonna do now that they're not advertising on that site? Here we have him in his cell trying to stream Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace from jail. The FBI are going to be watching Slovakian second division football from his servers. What am I going to do now? Watch the game on LimeWire or something? Meanwhile, Luis Enrique on stream told the fact that he and his wife don't regularly have sex. Mate, I think you should focus on the drillings that your team were getting out on the pitch. Meanwhile, there's the brilliant news that North Korean television, having never broadcast a game of South Korean football in their history, decided to show the highlights from their 4-1 loss against Portugal. It's a shithousery award for North Korea. Now that it's time for your goals of the week, and we've got some sensational strikes again here. First of all, over in Albania at FC Tirana, take about Patrick for this volley effort. We don't see chip finishers very often in goals of the week, but Celta Vigo's Yago Aspas has brought one out here in a mid-season friendly. I don't have a name for this one, unfortunately, but the skill down the right-hand side in this women's match is equaled beautifully by an overhead kick finish. Now in the mid-season friendlies, and Liverpool managed to lose to Lyon both in 90 minutes and on penalties as well. Fucking hell, this is going to be a long season. Daniel Podence wasn't too happy at the treatment he was getting for Wolves. Here we have a live recreation of the incident. Rob Holdings arrived for club football with a new hairline again. Give it till 2023, he's going to be Paolo Holdini. There's the news that Michael B. Jordan is now a heavy investor in Bournemouth. So that's what the B in Michael B. Jordan stands for. And speaking of the cherries, there's a side in Bangladesh that have outright stolen their badge and made it their own. Lyon's Ryan Shirky won't want to look at this Panenka penalty attempt back. Mia Khalifa was asked about her 3 favourite footballers this week, as you do, and one of them was Australian star Aaron Moy. This is who Mia thinks Aaron actually is. Bayern Munich goalkeeper Manuel Neuer posted a picture on Instagram this week from a hospital bed after breaking his leg on a skiing holiday. He's found out that being a sweeper skier doesn't work out quite as well. And in Sweden, after Real Madrid tweeted about their record 8-0 win over Malmo in the Champions League a few years ago, Malmo responded to the unnecessary shots by asking how the European Super League was going for Royale. It's a shithousery award for the Swedish side. Hello all, and welcome to The Beautiful Game, the segment where we take a look at the poetic and brilliant side of the game that we love. We are back by popular demand for yet more glorious beauty.
And you'll be hearing from Gareth Southgate as we look ahead to that match. It's part of our build-up in the
fucking busted.
Now we are coming to you live from the edge.
Oh, that's regret.
And that concludes The Beautiful Game. In Italy, and whilst former AC Milan and current Inter Milan midfielder Hakan Çalhanoğlu was eating at a restaurant, a Milan fan who reckons he's a traitor held up a Milan shirt outside the window. At Cesena and in Serie C, we've got the anti-goal of the week here.
Vede proprio Spendi, area di rigore, Spendi, area di rigore, non c'è fallo, poi Spendi, la rete del 2-1 del Cesena.
Meanwhile, owner of Monza and former Italian president Silvio Berlusconi said that if his side beat one of the big teams like Juve or Milan, he would send a bus full of prostitutes into their dressing room. I mean, that is one way to motivate the players. In Spain, and how about this for a quadruple save from Ibiza goalkeeper Dani Fufato?
por Satrústegui y Camus, los dos en el mismo. Bueno,
Vaya parada, pero bueno.
In Germany, and lads, it's only a friendly. I don't know if it's worth playing in these conditions. A Willem 2 versus NAC Breda, and one fan just got bored halfway through the game and decided to swing like Tarzan from the stadium ropes. Meanwhile, down in the Dutch 4th division, and we've got a goalkeeper getting bored and going walkabouts too. This is match fixing, I'm sorry. Closer to home, and Barry Bannon is an avid Football Manager player. He signed himself from Sheffield Wednesday in his Celtic save, but quickly realised he wasn't going to cut it.
I actually never played myself. I signed myself, played a few games, and then I was like, oh.
Was it just a sentimental signing then?
No, I thought I was going to do better than I did.
But you play Football Manager. Do you have your real name as the name on the thing? So it's Barry Bannon signs Barry Bannon?
No, I put Barry Bonino.
The greatest moment I've seen.
The Football League really does provide every time. Now, though, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, because over in Romania, we've got two glorious stories again. First of all, at Chindia versus FCSB, it's clearly been shucking it down in Romania, because these conditions, I mean, these lot are playing in a mud bath. And elsewhere, over at Cluj, the net broke on one of the goals, and one of the Cluj players, Romario Pires, had to help the stewards out and fix it for them.
Come on, Anna, come on, Anna. Oh! Come on, Anna. Come on, let's go, let's go.
Yes, I can, mate.
Over in Australia, and I think one goalkeeper has actually forgotten the rules of football. You can't handle it everywhere, lad, come on. At Fenerbahce, and the Lionel Messi celebration is already catching on in Turkey. Last week, I told you about Bolivian side always ready, losing 9-0 to Fiorentina. It turns out that with their current results, they are just never ready. In South Africa, I often show you the skills being performed in this nation, and this week is no exception. In Australia, and there's a new trophy for the winner of the Jets versus Mariners derby. It's a block of concrete. I think it's a block or something that's come from a road between the two teams or something. I actually have no idea. But either way, it's not exactly a conventional award.
And we're chatting and McDonald.
In Israel, and we've got the best piece of football you're gonna see all week.
איזה גול, איזה טעות בהגנה של הפועל פתח תקווה.
And in Indonesia, these guys have been busy this week. We've got the return of professional football in the country, and the officials there have returned with a bang. With this not being given as a last-minute penalty at the end of one match, two absolutely disgraceful offside decisions. I honestly, these lot need VAR. And we've got one referee who doesn't know how to apply his magic spray for free kicks properly. Hey, bro, I know we're playing football, but you don't need to get that excited. Now there is time for Still 0-0, and you guys know the score by now. This is a segment of the show where I bring to you the best of Sunday League and amateur football. And this week we're heading over to Witheridge FC, who were concerned that their next game would have to be postponed because a helicopter had to do an emergency landing on their pitch. Now, with no confirmation about when the helicopter would be removed, obviously you can't play a game when there's one in the middle of the ground, so there could be a postponement offer. The next day swings around, and I think the postponement is absolutely confirmed now. On to the weird stuff though. First of all, over at Danish side FC Copenhagen, and they decided to organise a Christmas party for their fans, for those that don't have a Christmas party to go to already. There's the news that 25-year-old Ousmane Dembele has been arrested for trying to smuggle copious amounts of tramadol. Hang on a sec. Who? A different man called Ousmane Dembele has been arrested. Look, listen, clearly he was just trying to help his namesake's injury problems with the tramadol. And finally, over in the Netherlands, a crazy story over at Utrecht, where their manager Henk Fraser has been sacked after choking one of his own players in an altercation. He was involved in a training ground scrap with his striker, Younes, and apparently the club's technical director had to step in to break up the fight. That is one way to get your P45. That, though, is going to wrap up football this week, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at the official FNG on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.